What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Revolution. So today I got a little bit of interesting. We're going to take a look again at the Omega Pass and break down the Omega Season Pass. This is an interesting piece in here that I want to point out to you guys. So number one, across the board, I've purchased the Omega Season Pass. I've told you guys previously I thought the Omega Season Pass is kind of a worth it deal for what you get going on. Typically, I am a fan of... I don't want to say pay to play because it implies something different, but I'm a fan of subscription based gaming, meaning like if I went and played Final Fantasy, we all pay $15 basically a month for the service. We log in, we get the base of the game when we purchase that, and then the continuous updates and stuff like that kind of free flowing from. I think those type of service games kind of help out the players and the developers the most, because there's not a lopsided thing. At the end of the day, developers got to get paid to make the game that you want to continue playing, and it kind of ensures content is going to continue rolling. It's the reason why you have games like Guild Wars and Final Fantasy, DCUO, so many games that have lived, World of Warcraft, that have lived on for so long because of this subscription-based service. In that regard, a lot of mobile gaming and even FPS shooter gamings have leaned into a somewhat pseudo-subscription service to play in these passes, these season passes, right? So essentially for the season pass here, the season is only as long as the invasion event goes, so it's always usually tied to the invasion event, and then the premium pass kind of tops off on other things that come along with the update. In this regard, we've basically got the season pass for Kate Bishop, who is the new companion that's there. I don't really necessarily like Kate Bishop, the companion. We'll take a look at her here in a second, but essentially with Kate Bishop, we basically have an addition to our collection stats for attack, which isn't a bad thing. But then when I look at the usability of the hero herself, she decreases movement speed and defense, but nobody really gives a damn about that. Like, to be honest with you, like decreasing my movement speed or my defense for 2.5 seconds when, you know, the skill lands within her 12 seconds, that's not going to impact anything as most. Even more so, like her skill where it targets the first enemy hit and prioritizes the target during the summon duration, it's not necessarily going to make that huge of an impact, like decreasing that target's defense and movement speed. Like, for instance, think about it in terms of this. If I go and I was to use Kate Bishop inside of PvP, right, and Spider-Man is the person that I'm worried about the most. So now Kate Bishop is summoned, she lands the attack, and now, you know, he becomes my priority of attack. Now I'm looking at her decreasing his defense and his movement speed. Do I care that his defense is decreased by 15%? No, because in this game, defense doesn't really hold much value and weight. In a lot of games, defense doesn't hold much value and weight. Is the decrease of the movement speed going to matter that much? That'd be like her hitting Doctor Strange. Who cares if the movement speed is decreased? Who cares if the defense is decreased? It's not affecting or impact. These are not stats that are impacting the character's viability in those circumstances. You already knew playing Doctor Strange's defense bad. You already knew playing Spider-Man that he was more of a dodge and that his defense was bad. Is it going to really change the tide of the battle? More than likely not. I don't really think that she's going to be an impactful character in the likes of, you know, Hulk or America Chavez or something like that. You know what I mean? So even in Alliance of Mega War, where you would probably see her there, it's hard to even tell. Like, to be honest with you, you would have to do a lot of testing to see how does she go in and target, because it's the first enemy hit. So if we were inside Alliance of Mega War, what if she ends up hitting a character that I don't want her to hit first, and she hits another character? So it's a randomization effect that then applies a very special circumstantial effect, conditional effect that I might not need on a character. So it's like kind of weird in that regard, right? So I'm not really too keen up on Kate Bishop, but she does have the collection stat overall, right? So you're going to collect about 40 something bio shards overall for Kate Bishop for Hawkeye throughout here, and then you will collect quite a few other things as well, for whether they're draw ticket selection boxes, epic reward tickets, and so forth like that. You're going to acquire quite a few, you know, other goodies along with crystals inside the event as well, which is always good. Not, you know, to be honest with you, the crystals that you acquire in the premium pass is going to be worth the premium pass in and of itself. Not to mention, when you hit that end at 30, you'll basically get the badge selection box and the other badge box as well, right? So you're going to probably collect close to, I think it was like 600 crystals or something like that, if I remember correctly. It's like 50, let me see, 100, 200, 300, 450, and 600. Yep, so it's 600 crystals that you totally collect inside there alone, right? Now, you're also going to be able to collect some of these summoning tickets, and these summoning tickets are going to be more important in this iteration of the Omega Season Pass than in previous, and let's point out the reason why. So when you get to the daily pass objectives, I want you to notice what is there, the requirements. They have changed. So outside of participating in Omega War, Dimension Duel, and Epic Invasion, well, now you have to actually, you get forced into using their cash shop, the Marvel Mall, in order to participate in just the Omega Season Pass. This is weird. This is really, really weird, especially when you look at this invasion. And let me point out the reason why. So basically, to collect 40 on this throughout the entire run of this Omega Season Pass, or, you know, the daily event for that Omega Season Pass as it exists, in order to collect those 40, you would basically need to have 40 of these Omega for companion summoning shards. So if I looked at the mall inside here and I go, well, hey, I gotta summon 40 times on this companion, or like, I think how many days is left in this damn thing? I think we've got like 18 days in the evasion. So basically you amount that to, you're gonna need at least 18 tickets throughout this invasion, so that way you can collect those. Or it's really as long as the season pass lasts, which is, yeah, there you guys should have been able to look at it there. I'm a freaking moron. So basically, think about it this way. That's 18 days or 19 days in total. Let's round off to 20, and let's say it, because it just helps out me with the math better. And so we say 40 total, you know, pass points is XP points is what you're going to accumulate from there. So that's roughly about 800 points that you would be losing out on in terms if you don't use the companions on a daily basis. So that's like 800 points, which is 8 rolls of this every day, because each roll, once you complete the 30 or you go up, that's 800 points that you're essentially losing out on. What is going on here where now the companion summons that we're basically having is going towards this? Now, it'd be one thing, right, if I was looking at the event, and from the event I was saying, well, maybe there's a reason that that's there, and we were going to get a companion summoning ticket every day, but we're not. They're not giving away any companion summoning tickets in here. I went inside the shop, and unless I'm missing it, you know, for consumables that we get on a daily basis for these, I don't see any free summoning tickets being given away. So you're asking me to add more to your Omega Season Pass now at this point, because now basically what you're saying is that I need to basically fork out to have my summoning tickets that I'm saving up now, because let's be honest, they do give away a fair amount of Omega Pass, like, you know, dimension tickets, summoning tickets, and stuff like that, but not in any way to justify, you know, utilizing those or having to utilize 111 on a daily basis. Like, who's doing it? I have 5 in here. That means I would potentially miss out on 15 days of the Dimension XP points or the Omega Pass points that I would be able to get. So it's a little bit weird. Now it gets a little bit weirder, and I wanted to point it out because I didn't say anything about it in my last video, because I wanted to point it out with this, my video with the invasion rework, because I wanted to point it out more inside here. and that comes to your Eternity Crafting event. Because if you notice inside the Eternity Crafting event, they are also inside here asking you to utilize your tickets. So if you come inside here and you look at the mysterious costume box, well, in order to acquire the mysterious costume box, you need to utilize 2 costume draw tickets. In order to utilize the mysterious Omega card box, you need to utilize 2 Omega card boxes, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So basically, on a whole, through your Eternity Crafting event, you basically need 4 Omega card draw tickets and 4 costume draw tickets in order to complete these rewards, if we are able to complete all of these rewards. Now, the reason why this is concerning to me, right, the most, is because we're seeing this pan out across multiple systems inside here. We've seen it out in the Omega Pass. We see it now affecting the Invasion rewards. We've even seen this with regards to like the Black Friday sales and the anniversary sales, where basically when we went inside here, and in order to make these draws, you either had to use your crystals, which didn't participate in those events, or you had to use your crystals, which did participate in the event. So this is concerning because of the monetization efforts. So now, once again, they've been giving us and trickling us some semblance of rewards in order to feed us things like, you know, we've been like, if I was to, for instance, the best way to compare it is that if I was to look at the Scarlet Witch login, tomorrow we would get 2 Dimension box tickets, and another 5 days after that we would get 2 more additional box tickets. So they're giving out those rewards. You would see Dimension draw ticket selection boxes and so forth. But are these now being really given away rewards if your method of having me utilize these rewards comes into that I've got to use them in systems where you force me to use them? And I say force with some kind of hesitation, because they're not forcing you to do anything, but they're strongly encouraging you to do it. In the military, we used to call that being voluntold, right? So like, I'm not telling you got to use it, but if you want this, you better go ahead and go do it. So I don't like this idea that the rewards are being tied to these things, especially because, like, for instance, right now, I don't want to summon on Kate Bishop. She's not a companion that I necessarily need to 3-star for use for me right now in my playstyle. I can't particularly see that. So my idea is to save my companion summoning tickets for a character that's there. I don't particularly want to use my costume draw tickets to acquire costume boxes or anything like that for my current character, who is Doctor Strange, because I pretty much have a costume generated that he's going to have, right? I don't want to use those, so I've been saving up my costume draw tickets that they either have given us, right, or that I have somehow collected in another way, whether I paid it or not. You can see I've got like 65 costume draw tickets, right? That's just the way my account has been. And I think a lot of players are going to be in that space. So it's one of those really crazy things that I just don't like. It's another area where Netmarble giveth and Netmarble taketh away. Now, if I'm missing something, please let me know. Write it in the comment section below. I'll take a look at it and I'll address it and say, hey, I was wrong if I was wrong. I don't have a problem being wrong, but this just doesn't feel right. Like, you know, like I've looked at this and I've tried to find areas where I'm saying maybe something's wrong. Maybe it's something I'm not seeing. Maybe there's going to be a way for us to generate tickets on a guaranteed ticket on a daily basis for the next 18 days. I went back and looked at the events. I just don't see them. I like, realistically, I hate to say, I just don't see them. Like, I see these ancient treasure boxes and things like that, but I've rolled those, but I haven't guaranteed myself any companion summoning tickets. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Am I off, or is this a problem with the current state of affairs that they have going and pushing forward? Like I said, unfortunately, there's a lot for me to have to look at inside this update, because there's not a lot of content in this update for me to be doing other things. So it is what it is. Until next time, guys, peace.